What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Wildflower T, and today, my friends, we are doing an updated video on Miss Jessica Kent. I have went back and forth on making this video for various reasons, but the biggest one just being Jessica loves this shit. She loves that people talk about her. She has became a professional rage baiter, and she is one little petty bitch, okay? She wants people to talk about her. She gets her kicks on it, and I hate falling into that trap. But what I love more than anything is when someone is playing a game, they're trying to be petty and they're rage baiting, and it backfires on them, which is exactly what recently happened with Jessica Kent. And we're going to get into that, okay? So for the quickest and briefest recap imaginable, the last time that I covered Jessica, she was actually in a relationship with Burner 420. I believe we even had some bets on that relationship, and I will say it lasted a lot longer than I ever thought it would. I will say that. And what was even more surprising in the beginning is when they did end up separating, it seemed to end on an amicable note. She was still giving him his praises, saying how great of a friend he was, how they're still going to work together. He's a good father. He was a good friend, all these things. And then one day out the blue, she just switched up, and I still don't know why. So if you do, let a girl know in the comments down below, because I don't follow it as closely as I once did. And it really did appear to just happen overnight. She went from singing his praises and talking about how amazing he was to talking about how he was the worst thing. He was a manipulator. He's an abuser, alluding to him being a bad father. All of these things that we've seen in previous relationships with her, a rinse and repeat situation. And I hate to say that, but that's what it looks like. If you have been following Jessica in any of her previous relationships, the last several, okay, haven't really went well. After their separation and her coming forward saying all these horrible things about Burner, he did finally speak out online, and they kind of had their little tit for tat moment on TikTok. And then it finally, I guess, got to a point where Burner was like, you know what, I ain't doing this, and an RO was put into place, which of course Jessica did not respect. She ended up having to do a little sleepover in jail, and that's kind of bringing us up to speed to where we are today. Since her sleepover in jail, Jessica has been a busy lady. She is living that single life, honey. In her own words, she says she's never going to date nobody ever again. She's single for life, just going to date and mingle and have a good time, right? She loves to post things to just kind of piss people off. If she can see a moment or an angle where she can get a rise out of the audience, or even past lovers, she's gonna take it. And she had been posting recently these little like cryptic messages that weren't so cryptic. I'll pop them up on the screen so you guys can see, but she was definitely alluding to the fact that she was seeing this new dude who, by the way, since it's all of our business, he had some great D, apparently, according to her, and some association to Burner. She definitely was making comments like, yeah, you're op, I'm with the guy you didn't think you had to worry about, ha ha, he, ha ha, right? Jessica's a petty bitch. It just is what it is. If we didn't know she was like 36, 37, you would think she was like a teenager, the way that she acts. And nonetheless, she seemed to be having a good time. And this guy wasn't the first guy that she had posted talking about, you know, having a good time. During her little sleepover in jail, apparently she had a little girlfriend in there, and she was talking about that. We might have to do a whole separate video on the many times that she has just said things that are just so insensitive and derogatory towards certain minorities and the LGBTQ plus community. She does it all the time, but yet she's supposed to be an advocate. So it's very, very odd and strange. And I don't think she gets called out nearly enough for those things. But again, who am I? And I knew it was coming, that she was going to announce that she's in a new relationship with this dude and all this stuff. So imagine my surprise when I see that PNO goes live and he is showing paperwork on this guy, showing that the guy is a bona fide chomo. Jessica, man, that one did not go the way you thought it was. You thought you had a gotcha moment. You thought you was making a kiki haha, and look at you. What I find even more interesting than the fact that she was bragging about being with a chomo is the fact that she did no research on this guy. She had no idea. She didn't even know what his real name was. That's very interesting, especially if you're going to be talking about him all over the internet, have him around your family, and you don't even know his real name. PNO showed this paperwork, and of course I went to the Reddit. I'll pop it up here so you guys can see as well. This is legit. This is not the first time that she's had friends or people she was hanging out with not have, you know, some stuff on them when it comes to kids, which is just really weird. It did not take long for Miss Jessica to address this, and I'm going to pop up her little reaction response, if you will, right here so you guys can see what she had to say.
Look, I talk a lot of shit. I am not dating anybody. I'm not. I've actually had a lot of bad luck with that, hence me taking a couple of days off not that long ago. I thought I was ready. I was wrong. I am not dating anybody. And just because I am single and not celibate doesn't mean I have people around my kids that should not be around my kids. So let's unpack that, okay? My bad luck consists of, I really liked this girl and she found a man, which happy for her. And then I liked this guy and he found his soulmate and they're so cute together, makes me nauseous. Also happy for him. I like hella wanted Steve and he's not trying to date. So, he's so fine. He's so fine. No, he's healing and he's protecting his peace and that's amazing. I'm so happy for him too. You guys saw me. Yeah. And then one of the guys that I was talking to and liked, I found out he was on the registry. I made a video about that. I just deleted it because it had no views. Like it had like a couple thousand views maybe. I'm like, oh God, TikTok is so annoying. So I just deleted it. But I already addressed that. Make sure before you go out on a date with anybody that you're background checking these people. Cause like you don't know. You don't know. And also I hadn't had the guy's like real like name. Like I didn't know his government name. So I reached out to one of my homies that lives in the same town as him. And he was like, oh, bitch, he's on the fucking registry. I genuinely don't understand, but I do play in y'all's faces sometimes and I post content that I know is gonna make people mad. But at the end of the day, the internet is not real. I don't have anyone near me that shouldn't be near me. I don't have anyone near me that has a bad fucking case. That sucked learning that. That really sucked. But again, that was something I already addressed.
Her response has me speechless more than even the fact that this information came out, because for you to sit there and say, I've done address this, it just didn't get like that many views, so I took it down. Girl, what? You wanted your my boyfriend's a chomo video to get thousands of views and get so much attention on that, and the fact that you didn't, you took it down? Girl, I don't even know if she really did actually publicly address this or not, but she says she did. Like I said, I don't follow her as closely as I once did. So she could have, she couldn't have. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Did she actually post something publicly ever addressing this? Because I didn't see it. She says she did though. It just didn't get a lot of views, so she took it down because, of course, when you're addressing the fact that you've been dating a chomo, the views is what matters. Didn't you guys know? That's the most important part, is the views. Like I said before, the fact that she didn't even know this dude's real name, that kind of clearly tells you what type of time Jessica's on. None of those things matter to her when she's dating you, apparently. I also think it's quite funny that she is constantly saying, I post what I want. You have no say-so about my life. You don't have no right on an opinion on my life. You don't know me, blah, 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 right? She says this all the time. And where I can agree to an extent, it's also like, girl, you put this out, you put this information out. No one like twisted your arm and made you do it. You did it. And you know how the internet works at this point. Please don't act stupid. If you put something out and something like this happens, people are going to talk about it. Obviously, people are going to talk about it. I think it is talk about it worthy. Okay. You was the one online bragging, thinking that you had a gotcha moment and trying to hurt whoever you was trying to hurt. And look, this is what happens. This is what happens. It backfires. It's not even the first time something like this has backfired on Jessica. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. This was definitely a backfire for Miss Jessica Kent. And I don't think it's going to be the last time she does something where she opens her mouth and inserts her foot. But I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoy this video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up, subscribing if you haven't already, and tapping those post notifications so you never miss another video. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and until the next one.